Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to yet another ending reaction video. Today we're going to be checking out Winter 2026 endings. I believe that probably most of these, if not all, are going to be endings for series that we checked out the openings for in the previous video. If you haven't seen that yet, link will be in the description below. You should check that out, maybe before checking out this one, I don't know. But yeah, that was a lot of fun, and there were some really huge, big hitting series in there, and others that surprised me that I wasn't really aware of before, but now I'm super interested in. So yeah, Winter 2026 seems to be a huge season rather for anime, and that makes me very excited to check out these endings today. Yeah, I don't really know any artists to come or anything like that, so that's why I love doing these, because it's always a surprise to me. So yeah, I stream these reactions live on Twitch. If you would like to check out the stream live when I do it, you can see these reactions before YouTube does, with all the stuff included, at twitch.tv/Jasmer. It's on the screen as well if you would like to type it out. If you guys do enjoy these videos, please leave a like and subscribe if you have not done so already, and leave a comment down below letting me know your favorite ending that we've checked out today. And of course, share this with a friend who you think might enjoy this video, and hit the notification bell. It will notify you when future videos go live on the channel. So yeah, why don't we just check out what Winter 2026 has in store for us when it comes to the endings. Let's go. Let me see, audio's up, cool. Is that Yuji? Begins to take root. Oh shit. This is really like artistic. Ominous red door. Oh, lifting his head. Oh man, look at that. Wow. This is such a unique ending right here. Walking down the steps. Oh, who's that in the corner? Damn, look at all these things that... This is a really, really cool visual ending, because it's very abstract. And it's clear right at the end. There's no more red, there's no more danger. One thing I want to point out real quick, if I can find it. There, isn't that Gege right there in the bottom right, who's got like something on its head? Isn't that him? His like little stand-in right there? Or am I crazy? This is the ending for Jujutsu Kaisen The Culling Game Part 1, Song of Dawn by Juji. Like the opening, the ending is storyboarded by season director Shota Gosso. That was so unique, and I was kind of struggling to follow it for a bit because it's so abstract and out there. But obviously, like a lot of these things that we see, like this is obviously Yuji kind of just sitting there. He seems to be like processing a lot of what he's experienced, a lot of what he's gone through, and you know, there's signs of all the people that he's lost, and the people that he couldn't protect and save and everything. Nobara in the bottom left, you see blades with the wrapping that that Nanami uses and everything. Obviously the jellyfish in the top right as well to represent Junpei. Was that his name from season 1? Was it Junpei? The kid that he became friends with that was being used by Mahito. So there's a lot of really cool visual storytelling within this, even though it does kind of just seem all random. Then we get to see shots like these where, you know, there's the snow plane that of course he stalked Mahito in. So you know, following up from the previous shot where it was the jellyfish and Nanami and Nobara, all of which were taken by Mahito, Then we get to see this where he hunted down Mahito. So it's really cool to show that those three characters that he couldn't save and protect, then followed by him just being an absolute beast and taking down that guy. Stylistically, it's following on from the first poster of season 3 where he's sitting on the steps and you can see his bloody hand. That's really, really cool. I actually, now that you say that, I feel like I can picture that poster because I remember seeing that everywhere for the movie, I believe, right? Yeah, I think I can picture it, not perfectly, but it's there. That's just so cool. You DM'd it. Okay, perfect. Yes, that is it. Yes, I did definitely see that. I never noticed he was sitting on steps below that though. But yeah, that's really, really cool. Damn, Juji's new to anime. That's cool. Because yeah, he's got a really nice voice. Like it's very beautiful. It wasn't like obviously this super hype opening or ending like the opening was, but that generally is the way for Jujutsu Kaisen, unless your name is Lost in Paradise, of course. That's, I feel like, the only example of a JJK ending being like upbeat, exciting, and energetic. I feel like they do a great balance of great hype opening followed by like kind of downbeat and mellow ending, because you do tend to come out of a JJK episode like, damn, that sucks, that was really intense, that made me feel certain things. And so like you don't want like a Lost in Paradise to just start blaring in your face. It would be so jarring. So I think that considering some of the content within this season, again, like my memory of the Culling games is so all over the place because I read it pretty quickly when I was catching up, at least to a certain point, until I was caught up. So I can't actually recall what happens at certain points. Like I know that last week when we started when we did the opening stream, Hakari had just shown up. I don't know really what comes after that. Like I don't know where it goes right after that because my memory is just all over the place. So seeing an ending like this where it's kind of just showing Yuji in kind of like the pits of like darkness, despair, you could say. He's blue, which in itself can tell you a story. Like people talk about being blue against this really harsh red background, like this door, this window, it's just screaming danger, right? And it's behind him, so even that, like the fact it's behind him, he can't move on from what's happened in the past. And this ending kind of shows all these things that have happened in the past 2 seasons of JJK. And funny enough, I don't actually know, but how much time, I would wonder, has passed between Culling games starting and Yuji swallowing the first Sukuna finger? Like, how much time passed? Because it genuinely feels like it's maybe been like 3 weeks in series time, which is just bonkers. Another guy showed up at the end of this new episode. Name begins with a K. The guy that I mistook for a lady once upon a time, that you had to correct me. It's a stunning ending, but it's also very sad just to see all this kind of visual, like the visuals are very depressing, I would say. There's no real like hope that comes from the visuals. You see him walking down and he exits the scene, but then you get to see in the background his face is there once again, but then right at the end there's a blue sky. So yeah, he's looking down the entire time as well, which again tells you a lot about where he's at right now. He's looking down, he's not looking up, he's not looking out. He is just like he's a broken man, he's a broken guy throughout this the early section of this part of the season, I would say. And this really does focus on that, and it shows it so incredibly well. But the blue sky that we see right at the end here, the fact that you only see like the clouds and the blue sky really through this window, when the rest of it's just like a blue, but there's no character, there's no clouds, so it's kind of weird. Seeing this through the window can tell you that there is good things to come. There's a brighter tomorrow on the horizon, and you just need to look up. There's good things on the way, but poor Yuji is really going through it, and understandably so. The story of JJK from episode 1 up to where the anime is has been 5 months apparently. Yeah, I don't know. Like, that's insane. That, like, this guy didn't even know what Jujutsu sorcery was at the beginning of the series, and then 5 months later he's dealing with all this, and he's, yeah, I don't know. That's absolutely incredible. But it makes a lot of sense because so much happens so quickly. There's no time to breathe in that series. Beautiful singing voice, beautiful visuals as well. But I think I'm ready to move on to the next one and see what we get in ending number 2 here. We started with JJK today. We finished it with it in the last stream. So Wild West to come. Like, nobody knows what's on its way here, but I'd be very interested to see what we've got. We are doing 10.5. Is this going to be an Uron Mirage situation or what? Like, or a Shaman King situation? I wonder what that 0.5 means. So yeah, let's see what we get in number 2 here. Here we go. Vigilantes. Wow. Is that All Might? I didn't even catch it. But look at that. Seeing the world like this is just so cool. Because we spend a lot of MHA in the school that you don't really see the world so much. Oh, he's creeping them out though. Oh, singer's voice. Oh, are those her stands or something that were all there? Oh shit, look at them. It's showing them actually fighting. That's so cool. Saving a kitten. The moon. Interesting transition. Oh, that was really cute. That was a really, really adorable ending there. It really gave you this sense of this world being alive, which, you know, like I was saying earlier, it's something that, you know, in My Hero Academia, you know, you do get to see the world and stuff every so often, but they really does spend so much time in the school that you almost forget that, like, you know, there are I can't remember what they're called, you know, the human, like, half human kind of appearance people. There are those, like, people like that just walking around the world. You know, there's people with powers and abilities that are quirks rather, that don't necessarily like use them for saving and everything. And you know, I just think it's really cool to see like an actual insight into this living, breathing world, which this really focused on. And I guess with a series like Vigilantes, that would kind of be like a huge central focus and a huge central point of the series, because they're not in the school for one, and also like they are just like out there in this world, in this city. It's kind of like to compare it to like a series, for example, would be kind of like Daredevil, for example, excuse me, where it's very in the trenches of the city, you know, is how I'm kind of picturing and envisioning the series as a whole. This is the ending for My Hero Academia Vigilantes Season 2 Miss You by Shytaupe. Windbreaker Season 2 ending. That's really cool. It's always nice to see returning artists back again. And yeah, there was a point in this where I was just like blown away by his voice. It was so beautiful. Like he just hit like this crazy note out of nowhere. This song is also very, very it's both like downbeat, but it is kind of like empowering almost. Like it does pick up at certain points, and you know, it just makes you feel good about yourself, which is something that every My Hero Academia opening and ending should do. It should make you feel good about yourself. They're called heteromorphs in My Hero Academia. Thank you. I was like, I know Spinner is a prime example for one, but I can't remember what they're called. This ending right here is really, really cool. I don't know who this is jumping though. Just like seeing the way these characters are. That's All Might. Is it? Like, is that's All Might right there? I mean, I know it shows him early, but yeah, I guess I just didn't know that was him again. I guess is that him with his cyborg suit? Yeah, I'm guessing that this is what's her name? Like, is it Pop Step, or it's not Pop Star? I think it's like Pop Step or something. I'm guessing this is her, like her stans that just follow her around. I guess that her a Pop Step it is. Okay, perfect. I guess that in the past, from openings and endings, that her quirk was that she could kind of just make people obsessed, like kind of like a stan quirk. And I'm wondering if this is a prime example of that, or if they are just in general stans and there is no stan quirk and her quirk is something else entirely. She does surprise concerts on the street. That's so funny. She'll just be out there performing while our guy, don't even remember his name, what his quirk name is, and what is it, Knuckle Duster, are just out there like fighting enemies. She's just out there performing to keep everyone else distracted. Rogue Idol. She does seem like a very fun character anytime I've seen her. I think his name was Knuckle Duster, right? He just looks like he screams like aura. Like, he just does not miss a beat, miss a step whatsoever. You'll never catch him slacking or anything. But then our main character, he just looks like a really sweet, good guy. Like, he's rescuing kittens and everything here. We see him earlier, like in the ending, doing like a weird like street thing. Oh, is this our guy without his mask? I never even noticed that. That's really cool. He's just a guy out there when he's not wearing his mask. Knuckle Duster is far and away the best character. I would believe it. He just screams rule of cool to me. Like, he doesn't look like he follows the rules of the series. Like, he just looks like he makes his own rules and does what he wants. He looks like he screams the name Vigilante right there, whereas the other two characters, they don't look so much vigilante, but they look more like school rejects that still want to go out there and help people. Like, that's kind of the vibe I get from them. Whereas with Knuckle Duster, he does kind of seem like he's out there going into business for himself almost, and like doing things because he wants to be a vigilante. I don't know if that really makes sense, but that's kind of the vibes. I don't know what the moon was about there. When I see the moon in an opening or ending, I'm just thinking, I'm thinking Dr. Stone, but this ain't Dr. Stone. Oh, you're saying Knuckle Duster is top 5 My Hero Academia in general? That's huge. But then it does kind of lead to a really wonky transition, I would say. Like, it goes from the moon to this hood. Not my favorite transition that I've ever seen, but maybe I'm just missing the context. I don't understand what the moon means to this character or anything like that. But you know, it is really interesting to see a transition like this. But I do really love that they all seem to really have this great camaraderie with one another, like these three characters, because they just seem, from what I see, like they don't look like they would be friends in a typical setting or anything. So they've kind of made their own friendship. They've made their own like little family with one another. Also, like I'm a huge fan of like the way this switched up in aspect ratio or whatever you call it, like how much of it we see on screen. Like, it goes 4:3 to like this insane wide screen, and it kind of just stays that way. It just gives it a really cinematic feel, which I really appreciate. They do largely move in the night, whereas heroes operate in the light of day. Yeah, that is very true. Yeah, I guess I would wonder then, like, yeah, how that works for heroes. Like, do some of them stay awake during the night, or do they take shifts almost if they work in an agency where it's like, I'm going to take the midnight shift or something like that? Like, I don't know if that was ever touched upon from the main series. I loved that this really gave this world life. That's what I loved most about this. It was a really nice song. I love the song so much. And Shytaupe, it was really nice to see them return once again. I'm hoping that we see them return again very soon in the future. But I think I'll maybe be moving on to ending number 3, and see what we get in this next one. Oh, look at that! Oh, I love this one already. I love the colors. I love this style. They had a really creative opening and they've got a really creative ending. Love it. You and I are polar opposites, of course. She just looks like such a fun character. Just skipping along. The fruit and veg? What's that about? It is buffering. Why is it doing this? Alright, take 2. We're going to check this one out. Here we go. But yeah, I just wanted to comment on just how stunning this ending is. Like, yeah, this is reminding me, that part right there, a lot of like the city ending. It's just so fun. Like, she's such a fun character that I can't imagine this series has any like down points when she exists. But like I was saying with the Vigilantes ending, this really makes this feel like the whole city is alive. All these characters. Like it's a real world, like a living world. The way it got little downbeat whenever they were together, and she's no longer skipping. She's allowed to be herself. Oh, this is such a cute ending. Kitty! Bubble machine? Oh, and it all leads to him. Cute. She got little vampire teeth. Never noticed that in the opening. That was actually adorable. That was such a cute ending. I'm so obsessed with this series from the opening and ending. Like the opening for this was one of my favorites. Like really standout that we checked out in the last stream, the opening, and this is already a standout both visually and for the song as well. Like I don't know, just something about the series is really just gripping at me and making me want to check this out. I actually almost did start reading this like a few nights ago because I was looking for a series to start reading, and this happened to show up on my screen, so I didn't, because you know, I didn't know if it was the time or place. I've never checked out a romance series like reading or watching even, so I was kind of scared to take that jump. So I didn't, but I almost did. And this is the ending for You and I Are Polar Opposites, Pure featuring Eriko Hashimoto by TASTA. That's not a typo, right? This is a song titled Pure featuring Eriko Hashimoto. That's really that's a bizarre song title. He's spooked to check out a rom-com. It's not that I'm spooked, it's like, you know, kind of like I want the first that I check out. I'm starting it. That sounds crazy. I want like the first rom-com that I watch to kind of be like the one, you know, like not the one, but you know, like I'm waiting for the right one to like check out and the right time to check it out, I guess, you know. But it is February, so maybe this is the right time to start checking out a series like this. Forget that mindset. just dive in. Well, I am reading something else, and it's got like long chapters, so you'll never get to anything that way. Yeah, I know. I just get scared to like check out series. I absolutely love this character so much. I don't know what it is about her, but she is just like she's so good. Like, I really love her energy. I love her personality. I love her design as well. And I just think that she would be such a really fun character. Like, she's reminding me a lot of is it Hinna from Blue Box? Remind me a lot of her, who also had this really fun, bubbly seeming personality. Pink hair obviously helps with the comparison. I'm not comparing the two. I thought you were about to bring up the D word in a first rom-com context. Oh well, we do love Dandadan in this household. Dandadan is a great romance series for sure. Maybe I'll just take a look at my wife's romance manga and just start reading Sweat and Soap. The way that this plays out as well, it's showing different piece of iconography. The glasses obviously for him, I would guess, and all these other things. I don't know what the context for any of them means for the series, but I imagine these are all little Easter eggs for fans of You and I Are Polar Opposites. And then we get to see her like jump in and start walking. It's very video game-esque. Like, to compare it to something else, I don't know if this will make sense, but it's kind of reminding me of like the game for like Scott Pilgrim, like the Scott Pilgrim game. I don't think it's necessarily got that kind of track, but like, it's little chibi versions where it's kind of across the screen, like what's that, side scrolling sort of thing. And that's a really random comparison because I haven't even played that game. But yeah, that's kind of like what it made me think of for some reason. Just like that's what popped in my head. These little like colored, I don't know if they're bubbles or balls. I would guess bubbles because we did see a character later blowing bubbles, and I don't know what these stickers are, but there's got to be something there. But this really does remind me also a lot of the ending for City, for a few different reasons. One, you see all the characters in the world as she passes by, which the City ending also did that a lot, where it was just following different vehicles being controlled by different characters in this world, and the world itself was a character. And this one almost makes it seem that way as well. Like, I really do appreciate an ending that shows you the world, the land that they live in, and it really makes this feel like a living, breathing place that you can picture exactly what's going on. You can picture these relationships that these characters that we see have with one another, these bonds. Like, it really just stands out as this really cool, insightful ending, even though it is a very fun, playful ending at the same time. She's skipping along the entire time, and even like at this section here where she's got her like running gear on and everything, it's really cute to see that she's still skipping along, and the only time she slows down is when she's with him. And from what I learned in the opening video, she's someone who wishes she could be more like him, where she wishes she didn't have to have this super intense personality, super bubbly and everything, and she's able to slow down when she's with him. And this, in a way, could be seen as the true her, the real her, the version that she wants to be, and she can only be that version of herself around him. And I think that's a really, really cute little story in and of itself. I don't know if I'm reaching with that analysis, but that's what I'm taking away from this, because then after that, she's taken away from him again, and she's skipping her way towards him. The whole time, the rest of this, she is headed towards him. And that's then when we see the anime style come into view, where we see him and her running towards him with this big smile. She's blushing and she couldn't be happier. And yeah, it's an absolute joy to see this. It's so cute, it's adorable, and I absolutely loved it. This was such a great little ending, and I'm definitely probably going to be including this in my favorite endings of the year, because already this is definitely like a highlight, and we're only like a few in. You might have exaggerated that point in the first blurb, or the author went away from that from the first chapter. Really? That's interesting. They are incredibly cute together though. Yeah, I can tell. And I love like just how happy she seems to be when she sees him. Like it really does make me happy to see that, because a lot of these other romance series that we've been seeing openings and endings for, they kind of are still shy around each other. Like, I don't know if I've seen an opening ending yet for romance like this series where a character is just so ecstatic to be around the person that she likes. And yeah, I just love it so much. It makes me really happy. But yeah, we are going to check out the next ending, ending number 4, and see what we get. Here we go. Okay. Moody sounding. Oh, I really like the look of this. Wow. Struggling to walk, it's like they're sticking to the ground. That is crazy looking. Oh, this is Hell's Paradise, duh. How did I not catch that? Damn, those lyrics are kind of grim. Wow. Singer? Singer's voice sounds vaguely familiar too. Damn, I was not expecting Hell's Paradise to have an ending like this. That was really, really like moody, like I said at the very beginning. But it was really great at capturing essentially like a look into Gabimaru's inner feelings, personality. Like, he's very stoic on the outside, but Gabimaru feels things, and this really shows that a lot. Especially when it's showing. I can't remember her name, but it's showing her a lot, and she's obviously the whole reason he's doing all this. This is the ending for Hell's Paradise Season 2, Personal by Queen Bee, of course. I knew the voice sounded so familiar. Oshinoko ending 1, Undead Unluck opening, Fire Force Season 3 opening 1. Queen Bee is an absolute legend, and I'm so glad we get to hear more from them in these lists. I really need to start realizing who these artists are, like, when I hear them, because I'm sure everyone else that heard this probably was like, that's Queen Bee. Avi-chan, the singer, of course, also did the Devilman no Uta cover for Cry Baby. Really? I had no idea. That's really, really cool. That's a really cool piece of trivia that I probably already knew at one point I heard this. That's really funny. But yeah, we're going to talk about this ending because this ending was as beautiful as the singing. It really did focus a very recognizable voice. Yeah, I agree, very recognizable, but I'm never gonna remember unless you throw an Eve at me, but even then I'll probably guess someone other than Eve. We better get an Eve ending in 2026 or opening. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, I don't know why I didn't recognize this as Gabimaru. Just something about like the look of this. It was kind of reminding me of, but I knew it wasn't. It was reminding me of like Rudo from Gachikuta. Gachikuta. Kind of seeing like this style. I feel like we definitely saw this style in an opening or ending for Gachikuta, which, kind of reminded me of it, but I just knew it wasn't him. So I was really just struggling to think or figure out who this was. But the lyrics talking about someone is unraveling yet they still stand, a stab to the chest, this loneliness, and we see Gabimaru just walking along, struggling to walk even because his feet are planted on the ground. They're stuck to the ground. He cannot walk forward with ease, but he still walks forward anyway, despite the struggle that he has to face to charge forward, to walk forward. You know, he knows what he's here to do. He knows what he has to do, but he still struggles with it because it's not easy. This mission on this island is insane. Like, it's a crazy mission. I really do love like just the storytelling of him struggling to get his feet off the ground, walk forward, because he is on a mission. He's a man on a mission, and he is really trying his best to get there. But there's a lot of struggle, I guess, associated with this journey. Seeing this amalgamation of just humans or whatever, I don't know what they are, is just wild. And then, you know, it's all black and white and it's all very sad. We even see this character crying. I didn't see who this was. Was this Sagiri? Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. My memory isn't the best, but, you know, seeing this character cry, and then right after it we get this beautiful sky. Isn't that... Oh, is that... Oh, it has to be, because he does cry a lot. Yeah, that's my guy right there. I love that guy. My bad. But then, you know, we get this beautiful sky, this beautiful background with, you know, birds in the sky, and the colors just absolutely stunning. And, you know, there's hope at the end. Like, these birds are flying high, they're flying free. And then we get to see Gabimaru with his wife. I believe it's his wife. The fact that we saw two birds flying freely right before it shows them tells you the kind of life that they want to live. They want to be free. They don't want to be shackled down. But sadly, Gabimaru is stuck doing all this stuff, and he's not free. So that's why it showed him in the black and white, because he's trapped in this darkness, and he's not in the world of color like his wife is here, because we see her, but we don't even see all her features, because, you know, he's going through a lot. It's just really sweet to see him smile and reach out for her, but of course she isn't really there. And that's when we get to see an insight into his abilities, his powers, and he starts to look down, and he's not exactly happy that he's having to go back to his old ways here, because he tried to leave that life behind him. But he's going to do what he has to do. He's going to do what it takes in order to get back to his wife, because that's what matters to him, and that's what he's here to do. And that's what I really love about Gabimaru, because he comes off as this really uncaring, stoic character, but he really cares a lot, and he's a really, really interesting main character. I hope that they're doing him justice in the anime, because reading the series, I really did adore the writing for Gabimaru. What better way to have an ending like this than to have Queen Bee delivering once again in an absolute spectacular way. This was just a really great full package ending. Queen Bee, just Queen Bee, and Queen Bee. But yeah, I think I'm ready to move on to the next ending and see what we get in ending number 5. But it's so great to see Hell's Paradise back in the channel once again. So let's see what we get in this next one. Here we go. Okay, you got my attention. Is that the chalice? Or the Holy Grail, rather? Popcorn! That's really funny. This is a really, really fun ending. What's with the red and white teeth? Okay, this is Fate. Okay, I thought so. Doggy! Is that a horse? That's cute. I'm sure some of these characters would not be so joyful holding hands next to others in the real series. Is she pulling her hand away from him? That's so funny. And there she is at the end. Oh? Who are they? Fake? Who are they that just pop in at the end? That felt almost ominous, but this was a really, really, really fun ending right here. It definitely surprised me compared to like the opening that we got, that you know, that Sawano track playing over the visuals was intense. This one takes a more fun approach, and I really just, it took me so much by surprise, but I absolutely adored it. This is such a fun ending that like I said it million times already, really surprised me. So I kind of guessed this was going to be Fate when we saw this. I said it was a chalice at the start, but then I was like, oh wait, is this the Holy Grail? The Holy Grail of a legend, of course. But then maybe to kind of parody the whole fake aspect, it's not the real Holy Grail. It's a fake, and that's why popcorn comes flying out of it. Or maybe it's just played for jokes and it's played for laughs. Because the series is played. I would guess the series is played very straight and played very serious. So an ending like this kind of brings some levity and it kind of brings some light in it. It kind of helps with some of the tense moments that maybe an episode would end on. That type of sign is typically used in Japanese comedy to indicate that someone's been pranked. That's really funny. Just pranked with a big fake. Are these Americans? Are these the Americans that have pranked us with a fake ending? This is the ending for Fate, Strange Fake, Potential Love by 13.3 G. Or grams. I don't know what it's supposed to be, but yeah, I love the fact that this seems very like paper cutout. It's reminded me of some other endings or openings, I guess, that we've checked out in the past. Namely, I think there was like a Spy Family season 2 ending, I think, that had like kind of like paper cutouts that you could see shadows in the background, and there's been plenty of other series that have done stuff like this, but it's just really fun, and it gives this a lot of character, this whole ending. It's kind of like a slideshow, but not a slideshow. It's just like a panning shot the entire time. The characters aren't moving or anything, but even still, like, it's just so much fun. It's got so much energy, and I'd never heard of 13.3 G, 13.3 grams before, but I think that they are a really fun sounding group, energy band. I don't know what you would call them, but they really do bring a lot of fun, and I'm sure that we will be seeing and hearing of them again in the future. I would hope so anyway. But seeing all these characters, like I was saying, I can't imagine all of them would actually just be standing side by side with one another, holding hands like this in the actual series, because they're fighting, and I don't know if they're fighting to the death. Like, I don't know how extreme a series like this goes, but they are fighting. This does seem like a prank, like a fake ending. That horse, by the way, was the one you said had more animation than that will be in the entirety of Steel Ball Run's horses. That's really funny. Yeah, I absolutely loved getting to see a little doggy and a little horsey. The horse especially looks like it has a lot of character. Like, that face that it's pulling, I love it. And the doggy, of course, as well, is so cute, so adorable, and I hope nothing happens to either of them, because if something happens, I will not be happy. Also, don't spoil. And seeing like all these character designs as well is really cool. I feel like because the opening was a lot of like, there was a lot of fast-paced action and stuff, we didn't get to, or at least I didn't get to see the character designs as closely as I'm getting to see them here. And the character designs are really cool. They all look so different from one another, and I just absolutely love the clothing, the hairs and everything, how they look. Like, it's just really cool. The Fate Strange ending animation is a reference to another Fate series ending called Fate Carnival Phantasm. Interesting. We'll save Carnival Phantasm for a different time. By the time we would get to that one, I would probably be like, oh, this reminds me of... I love that they're all holding hands, apart from right around here, if we can find it. Wait, hold up a second. I was like, it's really interesting that we see a little girl, but the little girl... there's something wrong with her, because everyone has a normal shadow behind her, and then she's got this really strange entity behind her, like this shadow person, like this shadow being that isn't her. I don't know how to interpret this. I don't know if it's that herself isn't what she presents herself to be, or if there's this kind of like to compare this to JJK, I know, like a curse has latched onto her, sort of thing, like something's latched onto her and it's present in her life, but it's not her. Something interesting to note though. I was trying to find this shot right here where this, I'm guessing, girl character whips her hand away from this guy. I would guess he's kind of like a creep, like maybe Sanji type or something. I'm picturing, actually, funny enough, like really random reference, I'm picturing Maka's father from Soul Eater. What's his name? Like Spirit Albarn or something? Is that his name? I'm kind of picturing that kind of character. Pull your hand away from that guy if you can. Or perhaps a servant? Interesting. But who is the servant to who? Is this being the servant to the little girl, or is the little girl the servant to this being? She hits his ass. He's more just... Oh, okay, I see. He's just evil. Interesting, because this doesn't really show that, which is, like I was saying, what makes this such an interesting ending, because you're seeing characters beside one another that you wouldn't see otherwise. Talk of party and everything, share that heat burning inside. It's just such a fun ending, and I would love to see some of the other Fate endings now, because I need to know if they all kind of go for this really fun energy, this like fun direction, because I could just picture it that the openings play it straight, play it, you know, for serious, kind of, you know, get kind of dark at times, and then the endings just come in with this fun energy, this light and levity that otherwise you wouldn't get in this series. Or maybe you do, like I don't know much about it, but you know, pranked, fake, and you know, they've got marks in their heads, so I don't know if that indicates that they are maybe keepers of the holy grail or something. Like, they've got a special place, a special role in this world and in this series that hasn't been made obvious to me, a newbie for Fate. I'd be interested to know what the deal is with these characters and what the deal is with this whole franchise as a whole, because it's still very much a mystery, even though I learned a lot about it in the previous video. So yeah, love this one so much, but I think we're ready to see what we get in ending number 6. Don't know what's coming next. We've already checked out Hell's Paradise, JJK, and of course we've now checked out Fate, so let's see what we get in number 6. Here we go. I can't read that. Snowfield? Type Moon? The colors of your story. This is really fun. Oh, it's another Fate. Fat? Where? There's our girl. Okay, it's got dark really quick. The Holy Grail. Look at how many of them there are. I should have recognized the song. It's the same song, right? It's just so fun, but the visuals are so different. It's crazy. This time you really get a sense of how they feel about one another, just all the characters. Oh, what was that? Snowfield Type Moon. Snowfield, Nevada, of course. Holy shit, okay. It's not a snowfield, it's a battlefield. And blood. That was crazy. That was so fun. This is 5.5, of course. This is the second ending for Fate Strange Fake. Still Potential Love by 30.3G or 30.3 grams, but with new visuals from episode 5 on. For all I know, we might be due another visual switch up in the future. I hope so, because it's so much fun when they do that, like in series where they'll switch up the visuals out of the blue. And it's always surprising because like I was going insane at the start of this, like whenever like this part right here, like that right there, I was like, I'm going crazy. I've heard this song before, and I was getting paranoid. That's why I didn't call out. I was like, oh, I've heard this song before. I was so paranoid that this was a song that maybe I thought was another song that I listened to on Spotify. And I was like, oh no, did I listen to a song in my own time that was going to show up on stream? But then obviously I realized, wait, this is the song I just listened to. And so yeah, that's my bad. I did know I knew this song, or I'd heard this song, but I just was so scared to call it out in case I didn't. Type Moon are, of course, the creators of the franchise, yes. This is not Nevada, of course. This is Type Moon. It's reminding me of, like, I guess then when JoJo openings and endings and stuff will have, like, what is it, Lucky Land just written somewhere. And yeah, this switch up in style is so cool, because I had to count her fingers there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I don't know why, but just looking at this, the way her fingers come down, it looks like she's got like 3 too many fingers. But yeah, the switch up in style is so cool. It looks nothing like I suspect the series itself looks like, because it's got this really flat coloration and thick outlines and everything like that, but it's just so fun to see characters that are fighting in a series like this in a fun setting that you wouldn't see them in. And this is exactly what this is. Like, this is a real switch up on the style. I guess I'm not going to talk about the song really, because I've already talked about the song being so fun. Wait, it says fake. Why did I read fat? Did it say fat at one point? It does say fat. Why does it say fat? Why is this? Oh, feet. That's feet. There's got to be an E there that we're not seeing. I was like, why is it just saying fat just randomly for this character? Like, that's so rude. But yeah, there's fake and then there's feet. The opening is more the style of the show. Yeah, I figured as much, because the opening does look very animated. But yeah, fake. This being the first Fate series that I've been introduced to, and seeing the way this is done, like, there's kind of this darkness underlying all of the light that we see within this, but of course it does focus on the Holy Grail a few times within this. But when it shows the Holy Grail at one point, it shows several of them, and that was a big question that I had in the opening. I was like, are they all fighting in these different Grail competitions? I can't remember what they were called, Grail Wars, for the same Holy Grail. Does it get passed around in after each war, or are there several Holy Grails, and when you win one of them? Like, what way does that work? What way does the Holy Grail work within this? And obviously we see at the end of this, it looks like blood being dripped into it. So obviously that's kind of in line with biblical with the biblical sense. Drink this blood. I can't even remember what he says. But the blood of Christ being in the Holy Grail and everything like that. So I guess that's literally taken from the source material, the Bible. That's crazy. I just wonder though, like, the thing is that they get a wish granted. Do they have to drink the liquid to have that wish granted? Like, yeah, like you're saying, like Fate in general, it's complicated. And I think that's really cool that I'm not getting answers, because a lot of the intrigue is what keeps me interested, and not learning answers, not getting answers, just keeps me all the more intrigued, keeps me all the more interested in what Fate could be, because I have no idea. I feel like the only thing Fate related, it's something that you posted like a few weeks ago or a couple of weeks ago, Pinecino, because I think you were rewatching old Fate series. You posted like a screenshot, and it's like, I know you were kind of posting other stuff, but I feel like it's the only one that I actually looked at, funny enough, and it was a screenshot of someone saying something along the lines of, people die when they are killed. So yeah, I that's my Fate knowledge beyond what I've learned in like these videos. People die when they are killed. Yeah. So that's it. That's my entire knowledge of Fate outside of what I've seen here. There's also like a shot at the very end here. Wait, actually there's several shots. There were cogs there, so there's machinations at play, but then it shows her, so you know, she's kind of part of the plans, the machinations and everything. So that's worrying. And then we get to see here, this guy is annoying the hell out of this person again, which you hate to see, but we get to see all these other characters, and you know, there's a sense of their personalities and who they would be outside of this war. And I really do love and appreciate that we got to see that, because all I had seen prior to today was these characters fighting, and it was kind of scary because I was like, are they trying to literally kill each other? But then we get to see Nevada blow up, which is crazy. And then like, is it right here where we see this really crazy like just final shot glimpse, or have I missed it? I think I missed it, but it looked like it showed someone in this raid. That was just really quick glance, a really quick glimpse. I'll try and find it in the edit, but I probably won't find it now. So this is a note to future editing Jasmer to find that shot. This looks like the little guy in Ranking of Kings, the little shadow guy in the background there. I found it. Here it is. A girl standing. Is that the little girl? Is this the little girl that we see there? Because she had a shadowy figure behind her. So future Jasmer, you don't need to look for it anymore. You've already done the hard work yourself. But yeah, with all this mystery and intrigue, I think I should move on to the next one before I start asking too many questions, because I know I'm going to get no answers, which I love. I love that I'm getting no answers, because this is a very dense franchise, and I don't think any kind of answer would give me the answer I'm looking for, because it would just bring up another question. So let's check out what we get in ending number 6. That was 5.5, of course, and you know, who knows, maybe by the time we do another stream we'll have 5.75, 5.8, whatever, to add to it with another Fate visual switch up for the ending. I hope so anyway. I hope that we get another switch up in the visuals, because this one was really cool. So yeah, let's see what we get in this next one in ending number 6. Here we go. Very different from what we've been getting, especially after those two Fate endings. This reminded me of which journal? I can't remember the name of it, like the proper title. Wow, this is a really like beautiful track. Love the melody. It's really just peaceful and chill. Wow, reaching out and there was nobody there. That's really sad. But the birds are flying high. There's freedom out there for you. Oh, screaming out. But there's nobody there. And there she is, riding up on her little computer, laptop. Oh, look at them. That was such a switch up from what we just had, but it was so breathtaking. Like, it's something I just want to comment on that I realized. I really like that the full screen is never, well, I guess here it is. I was going to say, like, shots like these where, you know, you see the clouds kind of taking up the what's it called, like the canvas, and the outside is all like white, like empty canvas. So that in itself can kind of tell you something, in that there's not a full picture, you know, like there's painting there, there's a part of a drawing, but you still have to find the rest for yourself. And that's what I'm seeing here with this not entirely finished picture, like this kind of painting, because she, like, yeah, you're saying this is the ending for Journal with Witch, so she has lost her parents and she now has to discover a new life. She has to fit into this new life for herself, and she needs to paint the rest of that picture. She needs to paint her future. She needs to go forth and discover herself once again, because the future is not so clear and obvious. She has to go through a lot, and I think that this ending really does do a great job of kind of showing that, especially when we see her reaching out for her mother, who happens to not be there anymore, looking up at the birds that are flying freely, that could maybe represent her parents, perhaps, like, you know, two birds, her parents, but they could also just represent this freedom that she doesn't have, because she's weighed down by her thoughts, she's weighed down by everything that's going on in her life, her thoughts and everything, her feelings, what she's going through. And then we see her screaming out right there, which is really sad, because she's obviously really struggling. This is the ending for Journal with Witch, Message Left Behind by Bialystocks. Bialystocks. I really, 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 really liked the melody and sound of this ending. It was so like, this doesn't make sense because I don't know her music, but I've heard like one song, and I don't even know how to pronounce her name. Is it Clairo or Clyro? The artist, who, the one song that I've heard of hers kind of has this kind of sound to it as well, where I can't describe it. It just has that kind of sound. And it, like, this kind of this ending song as well almost reminds me of like an older series sound, like something that I would have heard in like an older series kind of ending, where it kind of has this kind of feel to it. Like, I don't know really how to like describe the feelings it made me feel, because it had this really intense sense of like sadness, but also like this sense of like upbeatedness. Like, I really don't know, like, it's kind of like sad boy, sad girl music, but also like with a hint of hope, you know, like it's not completely down in the dumps, which I really appreciate about this, because it basically sums up the premise for the series as a whole, where there's a lot of bad shit that's gone on, but there's hope. And, you know, these two characters that don't know each other now get to learn about each other. They now get to learn about themselves. They learn a lot about themselves, I'm sure, as they learn about each other. And I think that that's a really great premise for the series. But I know that it's going to deal with some really heavy, intense and terrible themes. And there's going to be some really hard moments for these characters as they live with one another. But an ending like this really accompanies, I'm sure, some of those scenes that you will experience throughout the episodes. I'm sure that this is very fitting for the content as well, because this is really beautiful, and it slots alongside that opening for absolutely stunning visuals when it comes to the opening and ending. And yeah, what a beautiful, breathtaking ending this was. But like I said, I just wish I could put into words how this made me feel, because it's a really strange feeling, because I don't feel sad and I don't feel happy. I just kind of feel like I'm there. And this really did drive that kind of feeling along. I absolutely adored this. This is really just such a stunning looking series, and I love getting to see this character as well, because she's I believe there's a girl anyway. She's presented in a completely different style here than we saw her in the opening, and she really looks very different here. So I just really like that we're getting to see different visual styles and everything within the opening and ending. Struggling to put feelings to words is a part of the series. So true. Maybe that was the intention all along, you know, just to confuse the viewer with the sound of the song and everything. Maybe that was intentional, or maybe I'm just dumb and I can't put into feelings. or put into words how I'm feeling. But yeah, I don't know if I have really much more to say about this other than it's beautiful, it's stunning, and I really do adore the opening and ending that accompany this series because they are so unique, so special, and so different from anything else. So yeah, let's see what we get in ending number 7. Here we go. Golden Kamuy? I think I recognize the scarf. Love the heaviness of this one. Feels very different from that opening that we had. The opening was not as intense as this. Oh shit, he's freezing. Oh shit, what is happening? Is he like training? Oh, he's playing the drums? Oh, that's so cool. Interpretive dance ending? Oh, this is sick. That singer's voice sounds kind of familiar. I can't explain how I feel that way, but he's going from shooting to doing karate to rolling around in the ground and playing the drums. This is really fun, and this is all in one shot too, which is sick. It's what it is. Man, that was sick. That was so good. I may have to take it back that this may be my favorite of the day so far. I was saying that the my favorite of the day so far was probably the you and I are polar opposites, but this one was insane for a few different reasons. One being like the visual look of it. It looked very. I don't know what it reminded me of. It reminded me of something that I can't quite put my finger on, like the style and everything, but also the fact that it was all done in like one shot. And I know animation, it's hard to like be like, oh, one shot, because, you know, in animation you make your own cuts. But yeah, the fact it was all done in one shot and it was animated so well, so fluidly, and it was really fun with this kick-ass song in the background, and I feel like I got a really great sense of this character right here. He's insane, he's wacky, he's zany, but he's very grounded by the looks of things as well, in a sense, but also just very silly. And I think for being the main character of this series, I think this really gave me a sense of just how fun he is. But this is the ending for Golden Kamuy final season, The Ballad by Ken Yokoyama. Like the opening, this was storyboarded by Satoru Noda, Golden Kamuy's manga author, and depicts Sakamoto acting out his own journey throughout the series in this solo performance. Don't ask me what individual moments refer to, as it's been a minute. I really thought that the singer's voice was going to be one that I knew already, because it just sounds so familiar to me for some reason, but I guess not. But yeah, I hope that we get to hear more in the future. Other fans have done that work, timestamps and all. Really, they've picked out this represents this, this represents this, this represents this. That's really, really interesting. I don't know a damn thing about this. That's a shot to just randomly pause on. I don't know a damn thing about this series, so I don't know anything. But yeah, I did say it, like, this seems like an interpretive dance, and now that you've pointed out that it is literally representing the whole journey that they've been on in this series, this is literally almost like an interpretive dance. You know, you interpret the single scenes, the single moments. You can pause this on any frame and he's pulling a really funny face. That's just so funny. There's parts in this where I was just thinking, like, this is just reminding me of like Mac from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, just like pulling out all these crazy moves and shit. And then of course there's the very iconic episode in It's Always Sunny where Mac does put on this interpretive dance performance. If you know the series, you know what I'm talking about. So you know, it was reminding me of that, but I don't think these characters are anything alike. I don't think that's what inspired this ending in any way. It's just like that's, you know, I see things that make me think of other things. I comment on them. But this was such a remarkable ending. Like, this is, dare I say it, like my favorite ending of the year so far. And this has had some really great ones, like the Fate endings in particular, the You and I Are Polar Opposites ending, and anything else that we've seen today has been stunning. But this really, really, really was just so fun. And for a series like Golden Kamuy that I know effectively nothing about, having this be the probable final ending for the series, where it supposedly showcases the entire series in an interpretive way, in a enactment kind of way, where we're just getting a solo act from the main character. I think that's so damn cool. And it's, I don't know if, I mean, I'm sure it has, but I don't know if anything like this has been done before in anime with an opening or ending where we're literally seeing the story play out in a really just random way that isn't so obvious through like a style like this. And of course, like, in a one shot as well, the fact that this was storyboarded by Golden Kamuy's creator just blows my mind as well, because they have such a creative eye for the way things should move and everything. Like, I can only imagine just how good the paneling is in the manga series, considering how good the animation is here when it was storyboarded by the creator. Like, how good are those panels? How good is the action within the series? I can only imagine it's top tier, considering what I see in this ending alone. And it really just once again makes me really just anxiously wanting to check out this series, check out the manga. Of course, like I said before, I would like to read the manga for the series, maybe in the future. Funny enough, I was saying earlier that I almost started reading You and I Are Polar Opposites. I had the Manga Plus app up on my phone, and the very first thing I looked for was Golden Kamuy, which of course they didn't have on there, but I tried. It was the first thing that I was like, I'd like to read this, and this is what I'd like to read. So sadly it wasn't on there, but you know, it is a series I really, really just want to check out, because that opening that I checked out last week was so good. And this ending right here is my favorite piece of Golden Kamuy content that I have seen thus far. That's on my list of things I want to do in 2026. I want to read Golden Kamuy and I want to gush about it. This is my favorite piece of Golden Kamuy content that I have seen thus far, and it is a remarkable, incredible way to wrap up the series. Like, if this is the last thing you see when you watch the last episode of Golden Kamuy, what a great way to do it. Though I would suspect that it wouldn't end with the ending. It would end with something else playing in the background or something like that. I don't really know if I have much to say other than this blew me away. I love the song. I was saying earlier that I was saying before that I started actually streaming in Discord to Pinecino, that Kill the Noise by Spire, I am adding that to my workout playlist because it's just so kick-ass and in your face. And I feel like this one kind of maybe has an energy like that too, that I'll listen to it again to decide if it's workout playlist worthy or, you know, just like general listening to playlist. But it's going on a playlist regardless. What a great song, what a great ending. And let's see if we can top this in the very next one. Let's see what follows this up in ending number 8. Here we go. Footsteps in the sand, okay. 2 moons? Fate mansion. once again. I love the color in this. Oh wow, look at that galaxy. Oh, is it gonna lead him away? That's really, really pretty. This is a really pretty ending. That sky is stunning. Mistake of a distant future, and the feather falling. Is that like a cyborg hand? I don't know if I know this series. This is very new to me. This was really, really beautiful, and this song as well it's just so touching. It was so it really was so beautiful. I say beautiful a lot because the word I can never find it, like the word I'm looking for I never find, but it really does like touch you right here. Like this like the singer's voice really, really just beautiful voice, and the visuals as well. I love the coloring, I love the look and everything. It was just such a great, perfect looking ending. This is the ending for Trigun I almost called it Stampede because I know that there was a previous Stampede. This is the ending for Trigun Stargaze, the second half of Studio Orange's reboot of Trigun. The song is Stardust by FOMARE. FOMARE, I'm already obsessed with you. This was a really, really just nice sounding ending, and the visuals as well were just breathtaking, and of course, what more can you expect from a Studio Orange ending? Studio Orange have delivered time and time again with Beastars, of course, you know, Land of the Lustrous as well, beautiful, breathtaking, and here we are again. Like, now this is my first look at anything Trigun related in general. Haven't seen anything from the original, haven't seen anything from the Studio Orange reboot, and this is a really just great way to be introduced because this has a lot of soul. I would say this has a lot of positive energy. Like it is a really stunning looking ending, and the singer's voice is incredible. I really do love it, and you know, the instrumentation and everything as well accompanying the voice just really just drove this song along, and really just made me feel so hopeful, so positive for the future. The lyrics as well and everything, talking about, you know, a future for tomorrow and everything, it gives you a lot of hope, and it just makes you feel positive, and I did really appreciate this ending so much, and I'm glad that we were able to check this one out today, even though, as you said, this next one was a struggle for you to admit that you had to include it, because you're not too much of a fan of this reboot, but many others are. Trigun is just one of your all-time favorites, so you're a bit sensitive to the reinterpretation, which is understandable. You know, like, if someone was to take one of my favorite franchises or series of all time and switch it up, change things, you know, maybe I would have similar feelings to you, but for me, who's just been introduced to this does look really great, and I do really love this so much. But then again, this is my first insight into anything Trigun, so I really don't know more to expect or anything. Also not giving a plot summary, saving that for the opening of the original anime when we get to it. I love it because, yeah, I was really surprised here to see that it looks like he has a cyborg hand, because anything I've seen of the series, it looks very you know, they're out in like a desert or something like that. So I thought that this was a kind of like series where there wasn't so much like this whole technological advancement or anything like that, but it turns out it looks like there are these technological you know, advancements. You know, humans are part cyborg, humans are, you know, potentially, like, you know, there's maybe just, I don't know, but yeah, I don't know much about this other than that. I don't know anything about this actually. I don't know what this light that follows him around represents, if it's a character. Would I know the name of the MC? Vash the Stampede. I think I've definitely seen that name around. You're gauging my knowledge since Trigun was right up there as a classic recommended alongside Bebop back in the day. Yeah, Vash the Stampede. That's it. I also, like, I just had this like really bizarre like flash in my mind, like the synapses. Wasn't there like this person on Twitter that had like this really wacky username about a character, and it was really like inappropriate or something, and someone retweeted it or replied to them? What I'm saying makes like has such little context that, you know, you'd have to know exactly what I'm talking about to know what I'm talking about. But I feel like there was someone that had this like inappropriate name related to a Trigun character that wasn't Vash, that was like either retweeted by, like, I don't know if it was the Pope's account or something like that, but it was something kind of like crazy that was like this big kind of like meme or whatever. This glowing light that seems to be flowing around, I guess I should just say Vash now. I'm assuming this is Vash, kind of assuming he's the main character, that's flowing around him. I don't know if this represents someone that was lost, like a character that died or something, and this beautiful sea full of flowers, you know, looks reflective of the sky and everything. So I don't know if this is telling us that, or if it's kind of more so showing us like the hope for the future and everything, and the feather falling from the sky. I feel like this ending is definitely telling me something, but this is just sadly one I can't pick out the pieces for. Touches the feather, he grabs the feather as it's falling. Whatever it is isn't there, and he's got this hope of maybe someone that has been lost along the way, and he's carrying it forward. I think I'm going to move on to the next one. This was a really great first insight into Trigun, and I can't wait for the future where we get to the original Trigun opening as Pinecino has promises here. So yeah, very much looking forward to that, and I can't wait. But we're gonna check out ending number 9 here and see what we get. Let's go. Oshi no Ko and life is a stage once again, but this time it's a film. The fish. We saw fish in the second ending. Okay. I love the little paper cardboard cutouts. Is that like a contestant show? Oh, Ruby was screaming there against a wall. Oh, and she's, yeah, something is wrong. Oh, singer's voice is very familiar once again. I've been saying that all day. Oh, look at them dance! Hell yeah! Oh shit, what was that? Was that blood on a keychain with their mother's face on it? No one else, only you. And they're back. Oh, look at that. Perfect reflections of one another. The mouth. That was really, really cool, because once again, I feel like this is telling us a lot. I don't know who this guy is, but he's creepy as hell. It shows who I've been calling their mother on the screen, followed then by Ruby screaming and looking down. Oh, okay. I was going to say, like, and there was a section where I was like, this black screen has been up for a while, but you did that to prevent spoilers. Interesting. It would be really, really cool to actually watch the series one day and see the scene without the blacked out spoilers. This is the ending for Oshi no Ko Season 3, Serenade by Natori! Windbreaker opening one. That's so funny because I was just listening to that. I listened to that song twice today, once at the gym and then once during the pre-stream where I was talking about how good the song was. So I that's on me for not recognizing his voice, not noticing that it was him. But yeah, I love his voice so much. He's got such a great voice. This is another great one for him to add to his collection. The fact that he got Windbreaker and Oshinoko is just so cool, because those are two series that just really deliver every time when it comes to openings and endings. And this one right here, I will say one thing when it comes to this ending. I hate to be the person to be like, oh, this one was better, but Burning by, I think it's Hitsuji Bangaku, was absolutely like one of, if not my favorite anime songs of last year, or was it the previous year? Geez, I'm forgetting. 2024, I think it was. I listened to it so much that I don't know if this one's going to quite reach those same heights for me, but I am definitely, it was 2024. Okay. I did kind of like realize, I was like, wait, we did that during the wrap up of the year streams, and we didn't do that for 2025. And you know, like 2025, Burning was like either my most played or second most played song of the year on Spotify. So, you know, I listen to that song so much. I am very excited to start listening to this one and see if it can reach those same heights. I'm not going to rule it out. I'm not going to say this isn't going to reach those same heights as Burning for me, but Burning was just such an incredible ending. It was maybe, I can't remember if I put it down as my favorite of the year, but it was definitely top 3 of the year anyway when it came to endings. And I think that this is going to be one that I have to give the same amount of attention and love to see if it can reach those same heights, because I don't want to rule it out. But this one, you know, I don't think I'm gonna go through it in the same way I did with the opening, because I'm losing my voice and I've been talking for so much. But this one really gives you the sense that everything is not as it seems. Everything is not okay. You know, life is a stage type shit where, you know, they're doing the what is it called, like the boards, what is it called, like a clacker board or something. You get the sense that this is all an act. The whole series, openings and endings, there are so many kinds of images, so many iconography, like so many types of iconography for you know, like acts and stages and performing and everything is not what it seems, and being someone that you're not. And you know, she's putting on this this act of performing, you know, being this host, and the only character that we see who is not really like acting in the same way she is Aqua. He always looks like he is the grounded one. He's the one that is the real person here. He's the one that isn't acting. He's the one that isn't playing the part of someone else. But when he is playing kind of the part of someone else, perhaps, or when he, or maybe, okay, let me go back. He looks to be someone that tries to be himself. But when he's in the public view or something, we've seen him wearing masks. And so I wonder if when he wants to act himself, he wears this mask in order to protect his identity, to protect his sister, to protect his mother, their images, because he doesn't want to be seen as himself. He's putting on this fake image of himself to protect others' images. Maybe that's why we've seen him wearing a mask so much in other openings and endings and stuff. But I think it's really cool that we get more imagery of fish within this, because we saw a fish in ending 2, of course, Burning, because like there was like a fish bowl, and we get to see that once again here with these 2 fish at the end. I would imagine represent Ruby and Aqua, but I don't know what these 2 fish mean, if one is a beta fish or something, or a fighting fish, but then again, I still don't know what that kind of thing would mean or represent. But I'm sure the fish that have been specifically chosen for these 2 characters, if it is for these 2 characters, have meaning. And I just sadly cannot. Looks like a beta fish. Okay, that's what I thought. I thought it looked like a beta fish, but I wasn't sure. Look at them dancing. Aqua and Ruby dancing is just so cute. But I do really feel for both of them, because they both are experiencing all of this stuff in very different ways. and it's very clear. It's shown this character in other openings and endings on the left here. I don't know what their condition is or anything like that, but they're in a hospital, and this character is also in a hospital. And I kind of threw out this bullshit theory in the previous video, the opening video, that maybe the mother was in a hospital or something. So I'm wondering then if this is kind of a character that we get to know from visiting the hospital, perhaps. I absolutely love it when they dance in Oshinoko. We saw it in ending number 2. I keep talking about ending number 2. Can you tell I'm obsessed with that ending? We saw Ruby dancing like by herself, and we get to see her dancing with her brother here several times, and I think that's absolutely so fun. Okay, that looks like a shower curtain, and then it looks like scary shower curtain. So yeah, it's a very, very interesting series that they're dancing through all this darkness. They're dancing through all of these really just intense moments, and you know, maybe I just need to watch Oshinoko someday. Maybe I just need to find out what this is all about, because I'm just throwing so many theories out there. The blacked out scene, I really wonder what that was. I can only speculate that it was maybe related to the main idol, the mystery mother figure of these two characters. But then, you know, we do see this really creepy like Sukuna smile pop in, which is scary in and of itself. And then more flashy imagery. So I think we're going to check out the next one. Oshinoko, what a great series. Of course, Natori, the GOAT. I love that guy so much. I'm so glad that we got to hear him back again. I'm really excited, like I said, to check out this song again its own time, to rewatch this ending again, and see just where it stacks alongside other Oshinoko openings and endings, because truly this series has had no stinkers whatsoever. It's been all incredible from beginning to end. So let's see what we get in this next one, which will be the final ending for today. So if you guys have enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe if you have not done so already. Leave a comment down below letting me know your favorite ending that we've checked out today, and of course hit the notification bell if you want to be notified when future videos go live on the channel. Follow the stream so that you can see these streams before they're posted as YouTube videos, edited and everything. You can see all the scuff, all the terrible things we have to go through in order to get this out there. And of course, you know, share this with someone who you think might enjoy. It would mean a lot to me. But we're going to check out this last one, ending number 10, and see what we get. Let's go. I honestly have no idea what this could be. Okay. Oh, it's okay. In the same style as the previous ending. That's so funny. We are back with Fire Force. This song, holy shit. This is sick. This little guy walking along the bottom too. I don't trust you at all. I saw your face. Pyramid Head. I love the watercolor style. I say watercolor hesitantly because it's black and white. Holy shit, like the animation in this is sick. They went off here. 2 steps back in time. Holy shit. This is so good. Man, this is sick. Was that like some ora ora ora? I'm gonna need to hear the full song. I'm gonna need to hear the full song, like right when I finish stream. That was, yeah, like that's my favorite song of the day easily. Like that's maybe my favorite song of the year. Holy shit, that's exactly the kind of energy I needed. That was so good. But yeah, that was literally like the exact same animation style from the previous ending, which, you know, is really cool because it was part 1 of season 3, I believe, anyway. So yeah, that was sick. This is the ending for Fire Force season 3 part 2. Speak of the Devil by Survive Said the Prophet. Man, Survive Said the Prophet, it's so good to see them back. Vinland Saga opening 1 and One Piece and opening 4. Funny enough, they also did a song for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Remake, yeah, they did. Okay, I actually didn't even read you say that until I just said that, but yeah, they also did the ending song for Final Fantasy VII Remake, which was not my favorite Survive Said the Prophet song because it didn't have the intensity and energy that I want to hear from them. I just want that kick-ass, in-your-face sound that they bring. And the fact that this is an ending song is blowing my mind. This would have been the most insane opening song of all time. But instead, this is one of the most insane ending songs of all time. This is... Yeah, I'm going to have to get this one some time before I start making huge statements like this is, one of my favorites of X amount of time or anything like that, because I just experienced it. I just saw it for the first time. I'm going to have to let this one settle and sit in for a while because, yeah, this is kind of like exactly the kind of song that I really dig. The previous ending showed all the heroes of Fire Force, whereas this one showed all the villains. See, funny enough, I was going to comment on the fact that I didn't really recognize as many characters this time. You're telling me this sister is a villain? That's insane. And I guess showing this character right here walking along the entire time, whereas previously we saw our MC walking along the entire time, probably goes to tell me that this is indeed the main overarching villain. The way this started off was so good. It was sick. Like the animation here is bonkers. I'll talk about the animation in a minute, but there was a character that I speculated, if anyone watched my opening reactions or anything like that for Fire Force, there was a character that I speculated was a mentor type character for the main character, who then was siding with the villains, or a villain, or was kind of, going against us. We were going against the mentor. I feel like every time we saw that character, they were with this character. So I thought, I didn't really know what to think. But now it's interesting because is that other character dead? Because I don't think we saw them in this ending at all. Maybe we did though. And I don't think we saw them in the opening either. But yeah, I don't think we saw that character at all, but it should be no surprise. This is Okubo, right? But the designs of the villains are sick. They look so good. Like, every character looks so different. They look unlike any other character I've ever seen in anything. And they just have such a cool look to them. And yeah, it is just such a really insane visual style as well to accompany it. But the fact that these villains all look so badass, I love it so much. This does just really make me want to check out this series, which is something I hadn't even done before. I have heard the rumblings of, the fan service, and that is what put me off this series big time. Like, if I'm being blunt, the fact that this series has so much fan service, I just didn't care to watch it. But when it comes to openings, endings, I'm there for it. But seeing like this kind of like the opening and ending for Fire Force for this final part of the season, they have almost convinced me to just forget about the fan service and just watch the series for what it is, because holy shit, this looks so good. Like, the animation goes off. The animation is bonkers. I remember during the previous ending, I I kind of came off like, negative on the ending, but in reality, I still really liked how it looked and everything, the song and everything like that. But this one right here with this kick-ass song, and I feel like the animation is going off even harder this time around. I feel like they really went above and beyond for the animation here, and what a great way to do it. What a great way to wrap up the series than to just throw everything you have at this final ending. Was this animated by a single person? Because it just is done so remarkably well here. And this, you know, it's kind of got this like watercolor look and feel to it, but it's in black and gray, so it's not really watercolor, or I don't know if that makes sense, water paints, but also like just something about it. I feel like I said this during the opening or the previous ending as well. It's got a kind of like old school like Japanese tapestry kind of feel to it from the way it's panning and scrolling and everything. But yeah, Survive Said the Prophet. I cannot believe we got Survive Said the Prophet in 2026, because I needed more from them. I really, really needed this calligraphy art. Yeah. It looks so good, right? Like, am I crazy? This looks amazing. And I can see why you saved this one for last, because this really does just stand out so much. I really, really, really am struggling to, in my head, be like, which one's better? Which one did I prefer more? This one or the Golden Kamuy ending, but for completely different reasons. So I'm not going to I'm not going to sit here and compare two kings against one another, two queens, two badass bitches, because they both are amazing in their own right, alongside everything we've seen today. And I want to give another special shout out as well to how unique and great that ending for You and I Are Polar Opposites was, because it once again made me just want to dive into that series. The ending is by one person. They're credited as Zenkai. Bless this artist and this ink art. Absolutely. This they literally have ink in their name. Funny now that you've said that, Starry. Zenkai. What a great artist they are. What a great worker they are. And I hope that we get to see more of them in the future. I hope that this is just the beginning of Zenkai endings, openings, and everything like that. And I hope that this is also just the beginning of Survive Said the Prophet's huge year in 2026. I hope that they drop at least 2 to 3 more openings or endings, or just songs in general that are accompanying anime, because I just can never get enough of them. And yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap this one up. This was amazing. This was such a great list, as to be expected with this season of anime 2026 winter. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below letting me know your favorite. Be sure to hit the notification bell so that you can be notified when future videos go live, and of course share this with someone who you think might enjoy. Also in the comments, be sure to thank Pinecino for all the work that he does, compiling these lists, compiling these videos, including the lyrics on screen and everything, just making this as easy of a time to check out stuff like this as possible. It really does mean a lot, and I hope that you guys can show your appreciation down below. So yeah, with that said, I gotta wrap this one up. I hope that you guys are having a great day today, and that you're able to take it easy, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.